Dear Divine Selves, hearty greetings to all of you on this sacred occasion of most divine full moon night called in Sanatana Dharma Sharad Purnimall. Tonight or this evening, I propose to put before you or disclose before you the greatest mystery of existence. This Sharad Purnima in Vedic culture and Sanatana Dharma is also regarded and celebrated as Ras Purnima. Ras term comes from Sanskrit word rasa. Rasa means nectar, happiness, bliss, love. So, what is the spiritual message of this Sharad Purnima? Because observing any festival or a date just like another ritual doesn't serve any purpose. This Sharad Purnima has the greatest message and the greatest lessons for the entire human race. And I intend to put before you the same, the divine message, the transcendental reality of this Sharad Purnima through four sources. One, I would share with you the story of Maharshi Yagyavalkya, the author of the greatest Upanishad, Upanishad. The second thing I would share to explore the essence of this Sharad Purnima is from Tentative Upanishad. The third instance I am going to put before you is from ChhandogyaUpanishad. And fourth and final statements of Lord Krishna, Yogeshwar Lord Krishna from Bhagavad Gita I will share with you. And as you know, this Ras Leela is to remember that divine love, transcendental bliss that Lord Krishna enjoyed this night through his divine play with gopis. But that is only a story and that is symbolic to reveal the greatest mystery of the universe and existence. And what's that? Have you ever wondered as to what is the most fundamental desire? What is the most innate tendency of every human being? What is that is driving each one of us from lowest to biggest to highest? Every word, thought and action of ours is geared, directed towards what? If you pause for a moment and begin to explore your own life, you would find that each one of us, and not only humans, all the living beings and definitely all the human beings about whom we know a little more definitive observation tendencies of the human mind. So if we look back on our own lives, we find that behind each thought, word and action of ours is the innate, inherent and intrinsic desire within all of us to enjoy and experience bliss, that is uninterrupted happiness. The desire for uninterrupted, infinite happiness, the desire for enjoyment of unconditioned love is the most fundamental desire within each one of us, and the same is driving our entire life. The desire for bliss, that is unconditioned happiness, absolute love. This desire for happiness is the most fundamental desire and most fundamental force driving our lives. And if you know and come to be convinced through your own observations about your own life, then it is incumbent upon you, it's pious duty of yours to explore as to what is the difficulty. Why is it that we are unable to experience happiness uninterrupted, love unconditioned? Every experience of happiness or every feeling of love of ours is so momentary, so conditioned, so finite, so dependent, that the moment it begins, no sooner do we begin to experience that joy or love, it comes to an end. That is the greatest tragedy that has befallen the human race. And through whatever acts we are performing or doing, we are trying to overcome this. When you are earning money or trying to become a great scholar or a great scientist or a great artist or a great writer, or become a great politician or a military warrior, behind all these desires is the most fundamental desire to experience bliss, ananda, uninterrupted, unconditioned, infinite bliss is there behind each and every word, thought and deed of ours. So what's the difficulty? Why are we unable to fulfill our desire for unconditioned and infinite bliss? Why are we suffering? Why are you drowned in the mirage of sorrows and sadness? We must explore, because this innate and inherent desire of ours to enjoy infinite uninterrupted bliss and unconditional love is the most fundamental, and all the philosophers of all the times and climes have admitted it as the most fundamental and valid desire. And to fulfill this desire in a meaningful, permanent way is a sacred obligation of ours, and that is what One of the most fundamental functions of a religion or the transcendental life one is trying to explore. So now let us try to find out where is that bliss. All of us have been trying to explore that unconditional love and infinite bliss in material objects, in sensual pleasures. And not a single human being on this planet in the annals of human history has ever experienced unconditional love and absolute bliss in material objects through sensual indulgence, through sensual pleasures. Never, never, never. This is a fact more clear than the broad daylight of the sun. Therefore, the sages and seers of India, realizing this difficulty, began to explore as to if at all there is possible to fulfill this desire for infinite love, unconditional love, and uninterrupted bliss. And they realized through their self-investigation, self-inquiry, self-exploration, self-discovery, and thereafter self-realization of their true nature, the ultimate reality of their own existence, they hit upon this supreme truth of the cosmos, that infinite bliss and unconditioned love is ever available, ever present, ever accessible to every human being. Human beings, because are equipped with discriminating power, and if they discern and manage to differentiate the chaff from the grain, that is, the real from the unreal, then the real, the eternal truth of our own life, the life within and life without, alone is the source of infinite bliss and unconditional love. And what is that? The core of your existence, the innermost reality of yours, called Atman, that is the indwelling self within each one of us. Every human being within his or her heart has the indwelling self, witnessing consciousness, the Atman, which is birthless, deathless, and innate, intrinsic and inherent nature of this Atman is unconditional love, infinite bliss, eternal beauty is there, ever present, ever accessible, but not in the material objects of the world. Not a single material object or all the great grand objects of the entire universe put together can provide and fulfill the desire of a single human being or provide unconditioned love or absolute bliss to even a single person. But each one of us, every human being on this planet, more than 8 billion humans on this planet, can have access to, they do have access to, if only and only if their ignorance is dispelled, only if they knew the true nature of theirs, only if they managed to investigate and explore their real personality, only if they manage to hit upon the innermost core of their existence, the witnessing consciousness, the Atman, then they are face to face with infinite bliss, the infinite ocean of infinite bliss and infinite ocean of unconditional love and absolute everlasting beauty is ever present within your Atman of the nature of pure consciousness. Your awareness is verily supreme truth. Your consciousness is verily the supreme Brahman, the supreme reality, the birthless, deathless reality. And when the seers and sages of Upanishads declare Raso Vai Saha, Taittiriya Upanishad 272, verse 272 of Taittiriya Upanishad says the same. What is that? Raso Vai Saha Rasam Hevayam Labdva Anandi Bhavati. Saha means the transcendental self, the pure consciousness, the Atman. The Atman alone is the source, substance and substratum of all love, bliss and beauty. Entire range of happiness springs out, comes out and is sourced from Atman, Paramatman, Brahman. That is Saha. So Brahman, Paramatman or Atman, who is ever-present reality within you, is source of infinite bliss and unconditional love and everlasting beauty, that for millions and millions of years, through millions and millions of lives and incarnations, we are seeking to attain, enjoy. And due to ignorance of about our true nature, we are leading miserable lives, disappointed, disgusted, frustrated, living sorrowful lives. We are very much surrounded all around by the water bodies, and yet we are thirsty and hungry. So once you know your true nature, Raso Vaisaha, the source, the real source of all love, bliss, beauty and happiness is none other than your own Atman. This is the secret of a loving, blissful, happy and beautiful life. So this is the first and fundamental thing that this Sharad Purnima, Maharashtra Purnima has to tell us and teach us. The second verse I would take to illustrate this point further is from Chandogya Upanishad. In the 7th chapter of Chandogya Upanishad, Sanat Kumar, who is elder brother of Narad, is instructing Narad on self-realization. The transcendental knowledge is being imparted to Narad. Narad was a Jnani. He knew all the Vedas and all the aesthetics and science and everything, and yet he was so much suffering. His sorrow, suffering, cynicism, fears, frustrations didn't go by the learning of the mundane, material, worldly sciences. And then he approached his elder brother Sanat Kumar, who was an enlightened master. Both of them are sons of Brahma, the firstborn son of Lord Vishnu. And there Sanat Kumar tells in 7th chapter of ChhandogyaUpanishad to Narad, this supreme secret there also is revealed. And Sanat Kumar says, Yo vai bhuma tat sukham nalpam sukhamasti bhumaiva sukham bhumo tveva vijigyasit taptya iti bhumanam bhagavo vijigyasa iti. This is 7th chapter, 23 verse from ChhandogyaUpanishad. What Sanat Kumar is telling to Narad is that the infinite alone is the source of real happiness. Finite, anything and everything that is finite has no happiness, no real happiness. Infinite alone can provide us real happiness. Infinite alone can provide unconditional love. Infinite alone can fulfill all our dreams and desires. Infinite alone can satisfy our innate desire for unconditional love and infinite bliss. And therefore, Sanat Kumar says to Narad, therefore, you must try to know that infinite. What is that infinite? And that infinite, in further instruction, he says that none other than your own Atman, the indwelling self within you, of the nature of pure consciousness, that same Pratyagatman is Paramatman and Brahman, and that is infinite. It was never born, it doesn't die, it is not limited either by time or by space or by causation. This is Deshakala Vastu Anavachinna Tattva. Everything that is Deshakala Vastu Parichinna, that is anything and everything that is limited by time, space and causation, can't become the source of real happiness, real love and real beauty. The real love, bliss and beauty can be sourced and can be accessed only and only through that which is infinite. And that infinity is your own intrinsic innate nature, your core of existence as Atman, Pratyagatman, indwelling self as witnessing consciousness right now, right here. The power within you which enables you to understand, to experience the meaning and purport of my lecture, the same power. Intellect and mind are inert, they can't understand the meaning and purport of what Sacchidananda is saying at this moment. The real power, the light of pure consciousness, that is your own Atman, which right now, the Godhood, the divinity, and the Brahmanhood of yours is not a matter of time and space. You are right now, right here, that same divinity. Just explore within, try to see your true nature, and then you come to know that me, the Atman, of the nature of pure consciousness. I am indivisible, non-dual in nature. Neither time nor space nor causation can condition me, and therefore love, bliss and beauty are intrinsic to me. Love, bliss and beauty are not my function or qualities. Remember, love, bliss and beauty are not just attributes or functions of mind, but nature. That is, they are intrinsic to me, the Atman. So, the moment I realize my true nature, my Atmanhood, my infinity, my infinitude nature, I am free from all sorrows and sufferings because I have access to infinite bliss, everlasting beauty and unconditional love that is available in infinitude, ever available. It's my nature. Nowhere in the universe there is a single atom, ounce, or trace or particle of love, bliss and beauty outside me. Because I, as Atman, alone pervade the entire universe. The entire universe of names and forms is my own dream, my own imagination. My own mind has falsely conceived, imagined this entire world of names and forms. Once I look within and dissolve this entire world of names and forms, I do find that I am infinite ocean of pure consciousness, which is intrinsically, inherently, innately of the nature of unconditioned love, infinite bliss, everlasting beauty. And then I feel so sorry about my own self, my past lives, and my fellow brothers and sisters, that despite being one with that infinite love, bliss and beauty, we have been begging, we are constantly begging before others, please love me, please appreciate me, please give me some wealth, please praise me, please appreciate and praise my work, the piece of my writing or piece of my art or articraft. You appreciate me. This is so pathetic. You are self-proven, self-evident, self-obvious, supreme reality. There is none other than you who can appreciate you, and you don't need approval from anybody else, anyone else. You alone pervade this entire universe. That is what Ashtavakra tells Janak in Ashtavakra Gita. Tvaya vyaptam idam vishwam tvayi protam yatharthatah Shuddha bodha swarupastvam magamah chodra chetatam magamah chodra chetatam. O my son Janak, O Emperor Janak, don't be fooled, don't be small-minded. You are not a small, finite entity. You alone pervade the entire universe. You are pervading and permeating everything in the universe. Know your true nature. Don't be small-minded. In your true nature, Sacchidananda Rupo. In your true nature, you are infinite existence, pure consciousness, and absolute love. It is your ignorance, it is your small-mindedness, your identity with this perishable, pitiable, finite body that has caused all sorrow and suffering and fears and frustrations in your life. Break free from this identity, false, illusory identity of the body. You are not the body. This body and the entire range of bodies in the universe, all the bodies, the entire universe is within me. All the bodies have appeared out of me. They exist in me and through me, and they again dissolve back in me. So there is nothing outside me. All the love, bliss and beauty that appears in some other human being or objects or wealth or anything, this is illusion. There is no other in reality. Once I know my true nature as Atman, I am non-dual, transcendental, pure consciousness witnessing self. Therefore, there is none other than me. Bhokta cha bhogyam swayameva sarvam. Bhokta cha bhogyam swayameva sarvam. Jagat Guru Adi Shankara declares in Vivek Chudamani, I alone am the enjoyer and the object of enjoyment too. There is no object of enjoyment outside me, separate from me. And our ignorance and delusion has made us believe for a long time that we come to believe this pitiable, perishable, afflicted body, and therefore we suffer. So now realize that you are not the body, you are not the mind, you are not the senses, you are not the intellect. You are illuminator of all these. You are essence of all these. You are the Atman, in and upon which this body and the entire bodies of the world are being experienced. After realizing your true nature, the ever-present witnessing consciousness, the self-effulgent, ever-blazing sun of self is being experienced. There can't be anything simpler and easier than realizing yourself, because there is nothing in the universe that is ever-present, ever-accessible, ever-experienced then I consciousness, aham pratyay. Your I-ness is pure consciousness, that is the self, that is Atman, that alone is called Brahman and Paramatman, that is absolute reality. This God or Brahman or Atman or Paramatman can never be experienced as the object of experience, because it is always the subject of experience. God or Paramatman is never the object of experience, it is because it is always the subject of experience. So experience, the subject of all experiences, that is I. The God can never be experienced as an object of knowledge, but subject of all knowledge. God is ever present in all knowledge, all cognition, all experiences. God can never be experienced as an object of perception, but the subject of all perception is none other than the Brahman, God or Paramatman or Atman. You can experience it right now. Tell me where and which human being is there who can't experience itself. I, aham. I consciousness, free from the body consciousness, is Brahman. Unborn, undying, unattached, ever full of love, bliss and beauty. This Atman is source of all love, bliss and beauty. And once you know this infinite reservoir of unconditional love and infinite bliss, there you are fulfilled. You are fulfilled. That is called Kritya in Sanskrit, in Vedic literature, in Upanishads. You become fulfilled, nothing more remains to be desired. As Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Manyate nadhikam tataha. Once you know your true nature, once you know your Atman, there remains nothing to be attained, nothing to be experienced. By knowing your own Atman, everything in the universe stands known, realized, experienced, and attained. By attaining your own Atman, your own true nature, everything in the universe stands attained automatically, because that Atman alone is the source, substance and substratum of the universe. There is nothing outside me, there is nothing extrinsic to me. The entire universe is intrinsic to me. The entire world of names and forms is my own imagination. They are appearances in me. So to conclude, on this auspicious night of Sharad Purnima, through this Ras Leela of Lord Krishna and Gopis, what the transcendental and spiritual message is sought to be given to all the human beings and entire human race is that happiness, that pleasure, that love, that beauty, which is sourced in a finite object, is ephemeral, it's pitiable, it is bound to become source of sorrow, suffering, frustration and fear and insecurity. Therefore, the Ras Leela of Krishna, the Ras Leela of Lord Krishna is an open and clarion call to explore that infinite reservoir of unconditional love and everlasting beauty and infinite bliss that is there, ever present and accessible to you as your own Atman, as your true nature. By knowing your true nature, all your dreams and desires stand fulfilled. You become, by realizing your true nature, the emperor of emperors, because there is nothing higher than you. Then you realize there is nothing greater than you, because you are all. You are all of all. You are all in all. You are Almighty God as pure consciousness, as Atman. There is no higher power, there is no superior authority than you. All love, bliss and beauty belongs to you. There is none other than me. There is nothing outside me. I alone permeate and pervade everything in the universe. And by nature, I am full of love, bliss and beauty. Realizing my true nature, I am ever fulfilled, ever satiated. I am radiating in my divine love. I am saturated with infinite bliss. I am drinking the divine nectar of transcendental beauty that is ever present and accessible to me. There is no beauty ever anywhere in the physical, material, phenomenal universe. All the beauty you see in this universe, all the love and happiness or pleasure you find in this material universe is a poor shadow of the bliss, beauty and love of the self. Therefore, why to look for the shadow? Why to search for the images? Go for the real. The real source of love, bliss and beauty is your own Atman. Therefore, by realizing yourself. Through self-realization alone you become absolutely fulfilled. There remains nothing to be desired. Fully contented, that is called moksha, that is called enlightenment. And that is the acme of human life. That is called param purushārtha in Sanatana Dharma and Vedic culture. But every human being, in a way, whether believer or non-believer or agnostic, is definitely through every act, word and deed is seeking love, bliss and beauty alone. And thereby they are seeking God alone, Atman alone. Because they don't know that what they are seeking is not present in this universe, the material universe, the physical universe, that is ever accessible and available within the cave of their own heart. Therefore, self-realization is the only way, only path whereby you will be able to enjoy unconditional love, Ras, Maharas, infinite bliss, Maharas, everlasting beauty, Divya Ras. Therefore, there is no way, as the Upanishads declare, to fulfill all your dreams and desires than self-realization. So on this auspicious occasion of Sharad Purnima, I wish and pray that all of you, all the sincere seekers, become self-realized in this very life with the same objective VedavedantaMission is holding and hosting and organizing from November self-realization retreats in Rishikesh. All of you are invited. Please do register. I will give that, or I can right now also on the WhatsApp number 931-5250-208. You can register if you want to participate in the spiritual retreat in Rishikesh, that is beginning in November. Then please do register on this WhatsApp number or our email ID. You send your registration request, VedavedantaMission@gmail.com, VedavedantaMission YouTube@gmail.com. So let me wish and pray that this self-realization and realization of infinite love, infinite ocean of love, bliss and beauty within yourself in this very life becomes a reality. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham Om